Welcome everybody to Random Tutorials with your host Randm42, and today we're gonna watch him play some Phasmophobia, showing you room locations on maps. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe to Rated Random today. Enjoy.
Alright, welcome everybody to Rated Random. I am Random, trying to do some random tutorials today. I've recently started playing Phasmophobia and I've fallen in love with this game. It's a horror puzzle game, for those that don't know. But as I've been playing, I play a lot of multiplayer and a very little bit of a single player. But with multiplayer, I've noticed a lot of people just don't know where rooms are or don't know what to call them. And I kind of wanted to go over how you could learn how to do that, kind of explain a few things here and there. Uh, with that, I am mostly going to be focused on something that is kind of useless in single player, but these things right here, the sound sensors, are very useful in multiplayer, and I'll go over that when I start messing around within the rooms. So I'll go ahead and start with that and go hop into a single player. I'm just gonna go ahead and load it up. I'm not gonna go over this system because this is gonna get changed and it's a nightmare. Uh, I am going to go ahead and make a custom. Ghost, just so I don't have to stop every once in a while to evade a hunt or something. I'm going to turn friendly ghost on. It kind of sets everything to 0, so I don't get any rewards for it, but it's good for going over these little tutorials. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then select a map, and I'll just go over Tanglewood to start off with, and then I'll just kind of hop around to some other maps, kind of explaining things. Waiting for him to talk. There we go. All right, so here is Shh. All right, here. This is Tanglewood. This is going to be the first map you probably play. As you notice, I have gotten to a pretty high level, so I'm working with tier 3 equipment. In later videos, I could go over kind of the tier equipment. But for right now, I'm using the tier 3 sound sensors just because they're the better equipment to be able to use. I don't really need anything else because I'm not going to be going over how to actually hunt for ghosts right now. I'm just going over rooms and how you can kind of understand where things are and things like that. So I'll grab the key and walk in. So on amateur and intermediate, the breaker immediately starts on, so you can come in and start turning on lights. To be an extent, there can only be in small houses like 8 lights turned on at any time, to include these little lamps. So if you have 8 of these and then you turn on another one, the breaker will break. So keep that in mind when you're going through and turning lights on. But first, I will go ahead and place a sound sensor right here. This tier 3 sound sensor has 3 modes. This is a circular mode. This is a focused cone, and then this is a wide cone going 2 directions on each side. I personally care for the round one, and I'll show you why here in a minute. But I'll go ahead and place the first one here. This first room right here, I goes throwing stuff. This first room right here is called the foyer. It's also can be considered a hallway because that's what these are. These are 2 hallways. So if you're playing multiplayer and you hear other people say it's a foyer or it's a hallway ghost, this is generally where it would be. And specifically talking here on Tanglewood, there are several maps with a foyer. There are some maps without, so just keep that in mind. And then I will go ahead and place a few more, kind of showing. For most rooms, there's a nice line break. You notice there's this, and then there's a break right here. And you'll notice, that fell over. The line break for most rooms, this is annoying me and it's falling over, is actually the back side of this. if I've noticed, if I've set it up correctly. So if I set it up on this side, sound sensors are being annoying. Here, I'll just set it up on top. So if I set that one up on top and then that one inside the room, you'll see, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I have these set up here. And the reason why I'm using sound sensors, because if you come back to the truck, you'll notice up on this board that here's where the sound sensors are recording any sounds back to anybody in the van. Showing you which room the sound sensor is set in. With these little arrows here, you can change the size of the sound that it's going to pick up. If you notice, if you set it up the round one on this small map, as high as it'll go, it covers pretty much the entire map. But if this one is that foyer one, that one I set right up in that hallway, you can kind of see which one you're clicking on based on the size of the circle that is changing. And then this one was also considered in that foyer. This is that one I set right on that line, on that wooden break in between the rooms. That's what I was kind of explaining. The lines for the specific rooms are kind of set in a specific spot, and you can kind of know that those line breaks kind of happen right after things like that, where there's that wooden line. So you see the room down here in the bottom is called the boys' room. This is called the foyer. I will point out that the foyer is technically both these little hallways. So I will show that here in a second. And then there's several other rooms that I'll kind of go over and run back here to show you that this record shows you what the actual names are. So if you're in multiplayer trying to explain to someone where they're at or where they need to go, you can actually call out the name of the room. Most of them are pretty simple, like this one. Obviously, it's the bathroom. Hey, there's a bone. This is the bathroom. But on this map, there are two bathrooms. So this one is the, I don't know, you call it the guest bathroom, or you can just call the one back here, is what generally most people say, is the master bathroom, because it's part of the bedroom, so it's a master ensuite. If you talk in actual terms of housing, this is the master suite. But that's the master bathroom, and this is just generally called the bathroom. So I'll show that, grab these. Yeah, this was the boys' room. It's probably too many lights on. Okay. This is the boys' room, the one with the car, computer. Pretty simple. And then, as I was explaining, so this is all going to be the foyer. If I set all of these up within these hallways, if I go back to the truck, these will all be called foyer within the truck. What that means is if a ghost's favorite room is in the foyer, it can basically be within any of that section within the foyer. So you see I have the three foyers. That's basically these three dots within the hallways. And it extends both of them until each of the rooms, and then basically this line right here. So it can spawn anywhere within that foyer if the foyer is called his favorite room. So be cautious of that. If you're thinking the ghost is here and it spawns over here and you try and run away, you'll probably run into it and die. So then, yeah, main bathroom is what this bathroom is called on here. So you can call it main bathroom as well. And then running back and forth. That's a lot of it explained, and then for now I can just probably go over what each room are. The room with the crib, this is a nursery. It's the kids' room, or but not the kids' room. But that's the boys' room. This is the nursery. When it comes to the living room, a lot of people don't realize this, but the living room actually extends quite a ways outside the actual living room. I'll turn some of these lights off. The living room is not just this room over here next to the couch and the TV and everything. The living room, according to the game, extends all the way out to about here. Basically where this line meets across, that's considered the living room. To include this little cutout of here, and then all the way to this line right here. You can kind of see a line break right here, just kind of showing you that that is a new room basically, and then this is all considered one room. So if a ghost can spawn in the living room, it can spawn in any of these areas within here. Generally, they kind of wander around, and you might see them spawn here a lot, but be cautious with the the whole it can spawn here and chase you down with the line of sight and all that. I have another one here. I never showed that. That was nursery. And then here is the master bedroom. And then I'll go show those real quick. Showing, that's the master bedroom, is the one that I stuck in that bedroom back in here. Right now what you're hearing is the cursed item. The mirror, it always constantly makes noises, so if you don't want to hear that, you want to move the mirror away from your sound sensors. The one down in this room is the, right here, is the nursery. That's what the one being marked here. And then as I was showing, the living room is this one, as well as this one, basically where that line comes across right there, and then where the backside of the stairs meets the wall over here. Showing that those are fairly confusing sometimes, but that is all considered one room, so if the ghost has a favorite room that's the living room, it's that entire area. Same kind of confusion I've seen a lot with a master bedroom. Yes, this specific room is the master bedroom, and this is the master bathroom, if you're talking in general terms, but according to the game, where's the stupid light? This room, and, well, hi, Mayor, and this room are all considered one room. So basically, this line on the backside of the wood here, where it keeps tipping it over, all the way back into this room, as well as into the closet, is all considered the master bedroom. So if you're got a master bedroom ghost, you'll see a lot of people just hanging out here, but if you're looking for evidence, you're gonna have to check all of this area looking for the evidence of what ghost it is. And then kind of simple lines here. It's very easy to explain. This is the kitchen, following those exact lines. So if you put something right here, I can place it basically directly over onto the carpet right here, and you'll see that this point right here is actually the dining room, which is over here. So if I come back over here, do I have another one? I do. And then I can kind of show it a little bit better. So if I place this down, basically they're touching each other. No, let's change one. This one's the one that's wrong. All right, so they're basically touching each other, just on opposite sides of this line right here. Showing the lines are kind of a hard break. Now, with that said, ghosts do wander, and they do change favorite rooms. So if they say it's in its favorite room and it moves, that's evidence that you kind of need to know. But like I said, here's the master bedroom that I have, one at the entrance and one all the way in the bathroom, and it is considered both the master bedroom. Then I have one within the kitchen. These two are basically on top of each other. One is in the kitchen, one is in the dining room. I make it bigger. You can kind of see it doesn't change what room it's in, because its center point was within a room. But you can kind of see that's a definite hard line break. And there's a lot of things with the game. Like I said, I've really started liking this game. It's a great puzzle game with a little horror to it. This one is obviously the laundry room. Not obviously, if some people don't know what washer and dryers are, but and then you got your garage in here, simply to store the vehicles. And then down here you have the basement. Now the basement is this bottom area and everything from the back of this line at the stairs. So technically this stairs right here is also considered the basement. That was a big jump. I'm gonna grab one of the master bedroom ones. Yes, the ghost is throwing all sorts of stuff all over the floor. I know it's in that room. But yeah, if I place a sound sensor right here at the top of the stairs, as well as the one I have down at the bottom of the stairs, and go back to the van, it will say for both of them that it is the basement. So yeah. Why is it still say master bedroom? That's a little buggy. That should be saying the basement because that's no longer within the master bedroom, but it should be saying basement, which you can't see right now because that's within another section of the map, so that's the basement. Tanglewood only has its main floor and that basement, so it's a pretty simple map, which is why it's usually the starter one for a lot of people. And then yeah, showing the garage and the utility room right here. The utility room, laundry room. I call it the laundry room because there's the washer and dryer in there. Now I gotta figure out why that's not showing basement, but that'll be on me. Because this should have said... No, why are you doing that? Why are you crooked? Stairs are a little buggy, it looks like. But yeah, this is technically considered part of the basement. And then this is that mirror that I was talking about, was the cursed item. On Nightmare and below levels, you will get one cursed item on the map for general. And then for custom, you can add one or none or all of them. And it randomly spawn, or not randomly, it has specific spawn points for on the map. The mirror will always spawn here, tarot cards over there, things like that. But that's for different video, I believe. Huh. Oh, this is like, what is that noise? Yeah, so it's a little buggy. I don't know why that is not showing what it's supposed to, but that's technically part of the basement. That's all the rooms in Tanglewood. It's pretty simple explanation. Just kind of showing you how the sound sensors can be used kind of to determine where things are for newer players, which I still consider myself. I've only been playing for a few weeks, so I am definitely new. And then you can use all this other equipment to figure out what the ghost is. Usually it'll hunt. Like I said at the beginning, I switched it so it wouldn't. And I already determined what the ghost was when I was showing stuff around. Like within this room, I was flicking the light switch. I turned it on and it immediately turned off, so I know exactly what ghost it is. So I'm just going to go with that and move on to the next map. Hey, look at that. Little side tip of figuring out what the ghost is. Because I got one that actually performed its ability, so if you look at its thing, abilities used one, which was that one light switch that happened when I was messing around. To go over kind of the tiers for these sound sensors, since I'm using those, since I am using the tier 3, I can show you these different tier weapons, which is new from August. till now. They just replaced a bunch of it, so you don't get one kind. You have to unlock them as you level up within being able to get Ghost right and things like that. So tier one is just a simple speaker, smaller range, circle, placeable, and it is considered an electronic that is useful for knowing about like a Raiju, which is faster around electronics. So if you have these on the ground, pay attention to that as well. And then this one has 3 ranges as well, instead of the 2 from tier 1. Same with the tier 3 one, but it is only a circle, where this one can change the shapes of what you're looking at, and they're all placeable in electronic. And like I said, for single player, sound sensors not so great. For multiplayer, they're actually really great, because if someone is inside and you're out in the van and have a sound sensor down inside and a hunt starts, you can actually hear the footsteps of the ghost walking past the sound sensors, as long as they're within the range of what it can pick up, and you can hear things of what they're doing. And then you can kind of communicate with the other players saying, hey, there's a hunt, because you can hear it starting to step around, and if it's a larger map,